we are making a full Christmas Eve dinner for two on an extreme budget. So this is going to be a very cheap meal. We're going to make an appetizer, we're going to make a full meal, and we're going to make a dessert, and it's going to be all a little bit elevated, more so than your day-to-day. So what we're going to do is start off with the dessert, and this is so simple. I'm just going to make some Jell-O because it's colorful and festive, and to elevate it, we will add some strawberries into the Jell-O, and then we will top it with whipped cream. So we're starting with this because this is going to take the longest. So let's get this water boiling. We need 1 cup of boiling water. And while our water gets boiling, let's take that time to cut up some strawberries. These were frozen strawberries, and I'm just going to use these. You could use fresh if you had fresh. If you don't have any, you could leave it out, or you could do a mix of this with any different kind of Jell-O and any kind of fruit. So it doesn't have to be all red, but we're doing red because it's festive. All right, and the amount of time it took to get the water boiling, we were able to get all of those strawberries chopped up. So let's, whoa, that's coming out of there. Let's get the Jell-O packet in. And I love how festive Jell-O looks, but it is so cheap. And this is sugar-free Jell-O. Doesn't matter which one you use, but this is what I have, and it is strawberry flavored. So we are going to stir this until it dissolves, of course, and throw this away in the meantime, clean as you go. Also, welcome back. I'm Carrie's Keep It Simple DIY. If you are new, welcome. Thank you for joining, and if you are returning, also welcome to this video. Thanks for coming back. All right, I think we are about dissolved. Let's see here. I'm going to add another cup of cold water, and I'm just going to get it from the sink. All right, we're now up to 2 cups of liquid in there, of water, the cold and the hot. I'm going to add in all the strawberries. And then I need to get something to put these in, and this is what's going to make it festive. I'm going to use some cute little glasses, and of course the strawberries are going to sink to the bottom, but if you were to get some of it chilled and then put the strawberries on, they would be in the middle. So I'm going to, I probably should have just put a few strawberries in each of these first, but I'm going to get a few little strawberries down in the bottom. And then we're going to just pour, whoa, the Jell-O in. Some of the strawberries are going in, which is great. And we're going to only fill it about halfway because then we have room for the whipped topping, which is just going to be out of a can or Cool Whip, whatever you prefer. Wipe anything up immediately because it's red. All right, these are going in the fridge, and I will get those ones put in the fridge as well. I am, though, going to cover them with a little bit of plastic wrap in hopes that we don't get a film over the top of them. All right, next up we are going to make our appetizer, and I do want to mention that I do have the chicken cold water defrosting right now, so that way we'll be ready for it in a little bit. Our main dish is going to be chicken thighs and roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Did you guys know this? I just saw on TikTok that it's Brussels sprouts with an S, not Brussels sprouts. Did you guys know that? That blew my mind, but we're going to do that, and also we're going to do all of this in the air fryer. So we're not needing the oven or the stove top or anything. This is going to be super simple, super easy, super cheap, amazing. So we're going to make the appetizer, and here's what we're gonna do. Laughing Cow cheese, this is the light one, but anyone will do. I mean, to be festive, of course, use like a garlic and something. So I'm going to take one of these little wedges. You know, having a fancy meal doesn't have to be super fancy. We can do this way. All right, this cheese is breaking apart, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna put that side on the bottom. All right, so let's see. You know, half of making a fancy meal is just plating things fancy, so I am going to put this cheese, that was not how I meant to do it, but that's kind of funny. We're going to put it just like that. And remember, there's only 2 of us, so we don't need a ton. So I could put 2 things of cheese out, but I think one's going to be plenty because we don't need a lot of appetizer. Now I'm also going to throw out some pepperonis because I have it. Use whatever you have on hand. If you have ham, use that. If you have salami, use that. Anything that you have, use it. And my pepperoni is already neatly cut up in these cute little triangles. So I'm just going to lay these triangles out. So that way we have a little bit of a presentation. And I think I'm going to take some full ones as well. I'm not the best at making things look cute, but you know what? It's going to be cute enough. See, we'll just put that side where you can't see it. Well, you kind of can. I think we're going to go diagonal because it's cute. Not loving this, so I wonder if we just like put them on the sides here. It's a big piece, so we'll stick it back there. And these aren't cut exactly perfect, which I think is completely fine. Oops. And we could just put, I don't know if that made it cute or not, but let's take these guys off. I think we're just going to do that. And you know, for presentation, just because it's fancy day, we will, oops, get the extra grease off of there with a clean washcloth. Now for some extra color, if you have greens, you could use greens. I'm just going to put some parsley over the top. And there we go. Last up is a few crackers. Like, what's the cutest way to put crackers on? I am going to work on getting some potatoes washed up. Now these are potatoes from the garden, so they have quite a bit of dirt on them. So I'm going to take my time and make sure to get as much of this dirt off as possible, and then we will be cutting these into smaller chunks. Let's start by getting the air fryer preheated, and then we will continue on. It'll be a little bit loud. Should we do that? We're gonna do that because time. I just preheated it to the air fry setting, and I did 35 minutes. It'll probably take a lot longer than that, but we'll check it. So we're going to start off with the meat, and I am going to put a little bit of oil on top. Let me grab a little brush. Now what you could do is just spray non-stick cooking spray over it, or you could use butter. I'm going to put a little bit of oil and probably a pat of butter as well. Okay, I'm gonna wash this then. And I am going to keep this very simple. It's going to be simple yet delicious. So we're going to just do a little bit of salt and pepper and then a few other simple spices. And we're gonna need all these spices again, so I'm going to leave them there. And then we have some garlic powder and onion powder. And last up is parsley. And that's what's going to make this have a little bit of a cute look. Parsley just makes it a little extra festive. So these are ready for us. I'm not gonna do anything to the bottom side. I will spray the bottom side of the air fryer. Hopefully I remember to do that. But for now, let's just get these over there out of the way. Next up is these little potatoes. I did get them washed, really well. We're gonna see if any of them have green spots. I think that one might. These aren't going to take as long as the chicken, I don't think. And so we'll have to, yeah, it's a little green on the side. So we'll just take that off. I'll have to throw these in after. So we're gonna be throwing things in little by little. And then hopefully, the goal is to have it all done at the same time, right? And I specifically chose things that were super cheap. And for the Brussels sprouts, oh it is. It is with an S, Brussels sprouts. That is so funny. I just did the steam in a bag kind. And I'm gonna just do them in the air fryer to roast them. Everything's super simple. Name of the game this year. Or always, because that's the name, right? Keep it simple, DIY. We're not really doing any DIYs unless you count cooking, but there we go. Okay, and this big one is going to take much longer than the little one. That's okay. I'm doing 3 because that's how many I had in my freezer container. Okay, back to the potatoes. I'm going to get them all in this bowl measuring cup, but I think this is going to be the easiest way to get all the spices on it without getting all the oil all over my hand. Okay, a little bit of oil. And then all of the same spices. So we are making this be a very themed flavor profile, and we will have some butter on there as well. Oh, I forgot to put butter on the chicken. That's okay. We can wait till a little bit later. I'm going to give these a mix, and then these are ready. I'm just going to set them to the side until we're ready to put them in. And the Brussels sprouts won't take as long as these. Well, maybe I should put these in with the chicken. Worst case scenario, we have to take them out, right? Let's get them in with the chicken, then we can prep the Brussels sprouts. That's so weird to say that, Brussels sprouts. Okay, I'm just going to put these all right there. They're going to be a little crowded, but you know what? We'll mix them through. It'll be fine. I think I decided that I want to get the butter in a little bit later on so that it doesn't burn. So I'm going to just set it right next to it so I don't forget, and then we will get the Brussels sprouts prepped. And I'm only going to do a little bit because we don't need a ton. I'm trying to do half the bag. Okay. Clean as we go. I'm going to be a little bit more simplistic with these. I'm just going to do the salt, maybe a little bit more salt, and the pepper and the garlic, and then we'll add some oil on it. I should have done that first, but second will be fine. Maybe a little bit more garlic and everything else. In goes the oil. Mix them up. And then we'll set them to the side as well because we're not quite ready to add them in. Those won't take very long. So in the meantime, I need to get everything cleaned up, and right now we're just waiting for everything to cook. And in a matter of, I don't know how long this was, maybe 20 minutes, we have a 3-course meal prepped and ready to go. We just have to wait for it to cook and chill. Well, I stepped away for a little bit. It hasn't even been very long. It's been about 25 minutes, and this one is at like 180. And then let's see this big one. So the big one is definitely not there yet. The little ones are. So I'm going to take the little ones out and get the Brussels sprouts in. And I realized I never put the butter on them, so I think I'm just going to put a little pat of butter on them on here. I Okay, let's get these potatoes just kind of fluffed around. And add in the Brussels sprouts. Okay. And then just for flavor, a little pat of butter. That's not that little. Right on top. And if we need to, we will heat that up, but I think it'll melt right on its own. All right, our chicken finished up. I got everything out and plated up, all cute because we are going fancy. I'm going to get the whipped cream on the Jell-O, which I did put in the freezer a little bit, just to get it to gel up in time. Alrighty, so there you have it. This is our Christmas Eve dinner for two on an extreme budget. All of these items are fairly cheap items, and we didn't even have to use the stove or the oven. So what a win. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you're interested in seeing a full spread of an even larger meal, I did do a Thanksgiving meal, which you could do on Christmas as well. I will link that here. And if you're interested in seeing some other desserts that are easy as well, I will put that here. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.